People, welcome. This is your football daily with NV and DJ Bars. Welcome to the football show. How are you doing, DJ?
I'm good, man. How are you? How's everything?
I'm good. I'm good. Working, staying up to date. A lot of football to watch. A lot of exciting
Yeah,
stuff.
it's been a strange week to say the least. Strange week.
Strange week. We say that often. I mean, ups and downs and goals,
Unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately.
but that's what keeps things exciting. That's what keeps us in tune. That's why we
That's
like to
true.
stay on top of the game.
That is
So,
true.
so we've had up a lot of crazy results, and we made some predictions. We don't want to leave you guys hanging, so let's see how we did on our recent predictions.
Yeah,
We'll
so
kick off
let's
with some
start
of the
off with the
results.
first one. Chelsea versus Sevilla. I said it's gonna
Yeah,
be 2-1. My partner here said 2-2, and he got the point. I would say since the game ended at a 0-0 tie.
yeah, yeah. We both thought at least more goals in it, but it ended up
Yeah,
being a very boring game. Some
very
opportunities, but
disappointing.
not many.
Mm-hmm,
Very
mm-hmm.
disappointing. But again, I think it was signs of what was coming in their next game against United. But we'll get to that shortly. So
True, true.
we you got that one wrong. I got it right. Luckily, we were on a horrible week beforehand. So
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
this is some good news. What's the second game?
The next game is Bayern versus Atletico Madrid. I said 2-0. You said 3-1, and they won 4-0.
Okay.
So
Okay.
who gets the points there? I'll let you get the call. Either
Yeah, I
way,
mean it's like
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was closer on the goal scored. You were closer on the clean sheet. So it's kind of a mix of best of both
Yeah,
worlds.
yeah.
But the game itself, I thought Atletico Madrid did generate a good few chances, but they couldn't connect. And Bayern Munich, being as clinical as they are, once they get an opportunity, it's in. And they pulled away with it. They really did. And maybe it's another year of just Bayern Munich
Yeah,
walking
maybe it's
away.
gonna
But
be a
hopefully
back-to-back
not.
here. Yeah, we'll see.
They're
We'll see.
so good, man. They're looking so good. What's our next one? So what's the next one?
Aston Villa versus Leeds. I said it's gonna be a 2-2
Oh
tie.
my
You said
Lord.
3-2 to
Oh my
Villa,
God. What a
and it
game
ended up
was
being
that?
3-0 to Leeds. So we totally got it wrong, both of us. It's pretty
We
crazy.
both, we both, right? We both went Aston Villa. They were on
Yeah,
such a
we
good
both
roll.
thought they'll take it, and they totally failed us. Totally.
They totally failed us, but I watched that game. I hyped it up. I told you guys it's a can't miss, and it really was a can't miss. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it. It was an awkward time, especially for
Yeah.
working week. It was like Friday 3 p.m. But for us here at the U.S., I couldn't have enjoyed the game more. Aston Villa did have a lot of chances in the first half, couldn't capitalize, not sharp enough for us. Barkley missed a few opportunities. I thought for me with Aston Villa, this game really showed the depth that they're missing. When Trezeguet hasn't been on the best form last couple of games, they haven't been getting the results, and
Mhm.
there isn't depth on the wings that they have. That's going to be their weakness, and that's why I think they will be the team to dwindle out of the race as time goes on because of that lack of depth. And then you see Leeds, fluid, amazing, concise, direct, energy. Everybody's running together, pressing hard. It's such an incredible way of
That's
playing. I
Marcelo's
love
theory.
it.
That's how he likes his team to play.
Yes,
And it's
exactly.
been
And then
working.
Patrick
Yeah.
Bamford, welcome to the Premier League. That hat trick, it was amazing. If you haven't seen the goals, he
He's
just put him to bed. Put
like
him to bed.
Pookie from last year. Exactly
Yeah,
the
but
same
better.
route. He's on form. It's looking
Yeah,
good.
he's on form. He's a little more technical. Pookie was a little more aggressive and running into the channels.
Right.
He's
I'm
more
speaking in terms of
technical.
form and their first year in the Premier League. Not
Yes.
first year in the Premier League, but first year back. So it's looking
Yeah.
very similar stories.
Yeah, exactly. Very similar. Very similar.
Yeah.
So what's our next game? That was
Uh,
exciting. Just a reminder, hold on for people watching. When I tell you got to watch something, watch it. It's good games coming. We got some great football coming.
okay. So
So what's next?
the next game is United versus Chelsea. I said it's gonna be 1-0, 1-0 Chelsea. You called a tie 3-3, and it was a 0-0 tie. So you get the points there, buddy. Again, very
Yeah,
disappointing.
I mean,
Very disappointing, but
yeah,
it just
United.
sucks to
What are your
see a
thoughts
0-0
on that?
games
They
over.
really,
We got caught off a little bit. So as I
yeah.
was
I mean,
saying,
I agree.
very disappointing
Yeah,
to see a
yeah.
0-0 game. Yeah, I don't know. No explanation there.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought so too. Watching it, I expected more, a little more aggressiveness. I really wanted somebody to try to win
More
the game.
goals, at least.
They
At
didn't.
least a
They
goal.
didn't. At least a goal, at least something more aggressiveness. They weren't creative enough. And you know what? Watching the game, I thought were multiple times, and we talked about this stat where uh, Chelsea is the only team in the Premier League to have more consecutive 10 plus passes in possession. They had about 81 of those at one point. Arsenal had 77, but Arsenal converted on more. And I saw plenty
Hmm.
of times where they were passing it around United and were getting into that final third, just weren't capitalizing on that movement or being able to replicate it in that final third. So that's probably things to fix with time.
Yeah,
And
the
if
sounds
time
familiar.
goes
That
on
sounds
and they
very
don't fix it,
familiar. Very familiar. The
hey,
power and
it is what it
finishing
is.
in
But then
front of
again,
a net. You know.
yeah, yeah. You know, that's the thing. It's strikers nowadays. You want them to do a lot more, being more
Hmm.
technical, back to the goal, and more connecting the play, not
Yeah.
just being that scorer. So you have goal scorers like Vardy who are so lethal, but just not enough of those. You don't see enough of those
Right.
nowadays.
Right. 100%. I
But
totally agree.
in general, that was a disappointing game. Yeah. So in general, that was just a disappointing game.
Yeah.
0-0, like you
I
said,
don't
just
mind the
gonna back up.
tie. I do mind the 0-0. The tie is fine, but
Yeah.
a 0-0,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why I went for a tie too. I didn't think either team is so exceptional at the moment or, that far beyond the other. So I went for a tie, but, they
right.
proved me right. I just thought they had more in them to more
Hmm.
exciting football. I guess not. I guess
Yeah,
not.
for sure.
So to the
The
next
next
game.
game is Arsenal Leicester. I called a
Yeah,
3-1 Arsenal. You called a 4-0 Arsenal, and they actually lost 1-0.
lost. Yeah. I mean, looking at the stats, I wouldn't have changed how I guessed it. I really thought that Arteta was going to have them pressing better, more on. Remember, I was talking about the non-negotiables. I
Yeah.
was I was mentioning how they looked slow, not closing hard enough, and then he mentions after the game that they look tired. Yeah, of course they look tired.
Hmm.
I kind of talked a little bit more about in the previous recording on Arsenal. We needed to see maybe players like Joe Willock, some other players get some playing time, some more fresh faces in there. That's what was missing. And then again, Saka missed a good opportunity. Lacazette missed a couple opportunities on headers. Aubameyang a header. So again, capitalizing, being more aggressive to the ball and the play. They got to turn things around with just if they score one or two of those opportunities, it's a game changer. Tottenham, I mean, Leicester aren't as aggressive moving forward. They were very much slow during the game. Didn't they didn't cause too many problems until Vardy came in.
Yeah.
Once that happened, they
Game
they got the
changer.
goal. They got the goal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Vardy is a
Game
game
changing
changer,
forward.
man. Yeah, for sure.
All you need is one touch in front of goal, not to miss in front of an open net, like Zed has done so multiple times in recent games. And we've been struggling. So it's all about the
Again,
striker getting that
that
right
sounds a
touch.
little too familiar, man. A little too familiar.
Yes, yes,
And
yes. I'm gonna let you speak about that because you know better than me in comparison to what it's been going on about that team. But to the next game, it's
yeah, so the next game is the El Clasico. As you guys remember,
mm,
I did not make a bet. I did not say anything about that game. My friend here said it's going to be a 3-2 Barcelona win, and it was a 3-1 win to Madrid.
yep.
And that's it for our predictions. But now we got to really start enjoying this conversation. And let's talk. What do you think about the game?
So I mean, personally, I thought Barcelona lost this game more than Real Madrid won it because of the possessions in the final third. And were you able to get there? Can you be effective when you get there? Right? That's what it comes down to. I thought
Right.
Barcelona got there more often, but Real Madrid were more effective when they got there. And that's why the results came down to be as they did. And it's kind of what I was talking about in the beginning of the game. Or in our predictions before the game went down. I thought it was going to be the team who's able to capitalize because Barcelona will press and will leave gaps. I thought there was way too many gaps.
Yeah.
Piqué was leaving between Piqué and Busquets, and Messi is not a player who covers a ton of ground. So behind him to have Busquets as well as Piqué, that's way too much on the rest of the team to cover the holes. He made Kroos look like an incredible, fit player who can run around everybody. I mean, that's how I felt watching the midfield. Like, I just didn't think Barcelona were sharp enough, good
How did
enough
you
to the
feel
holes.
about the formation and Coleman's plan on putting Ansu Fati as a striker and sort of rotating Messi into that number 10 role and putting Coutinho on the left. Because to me, I
Yeah.
thought it was, I don't know, it didn't look like the team were fully behind that idea.
Yeah, I don't think the team was behind that idea. And, when you compare the way that they played today against Juventus, you saw them pass the ball and get into spaces like back in the old days, like 5 years
You
ago.
think that's because of Bartomeu resigned? You think that's why?
I think part of it because the players are at least maybe it relieved something off of their back. It could be, but I just saw more of being aware of your teammates, getting into the right spaces. And Pedri for me is an incredible talent, and just on the same level as Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati is more clinical. Pedri is way more technical, reads the game. If there's a player that reminds you of the things that Iniesta was able to do and the quality that he brought to the table, it's Pedri. Very, very, very incredible player. If you watch out for him between Fati, Pedri, and Ricky Puig, that's a trio that's going to push this team further very quickly. And today they dropped the Young back instead of PK, and no goals given up. They were able to catch Morata like 3 times on offsides and
Yeah,
escaping
he
just
scored
barely.
three offside goals.
Yeah, and just inch, just a little bit, and maybe that's the inch that PK is too slow to recover. You give up a couple of those goals, you lose the game. That's the difference. And Real Madrid able to capitalize on those differences, and just like in their game, when they have an opportunity, they were down 2-0. When they see the other team kind of frozen, not being aggressive, they hound down, and that's what you saw. That my perspective. So, and just to touch up upon it, I thought Barcelona did get to the byline more often, and that's what defined the game for me in terms of who was able to generate or potentially generate opportunities. Busquets' pace in the middle wasn't offering any type of a trailing pass backwards. So all the passes from the byline went to the same direction across the middle, which was very easy for the Real Madrid defense to read. So that's why we weren't Barcelona wasn't lethal enough, and yeah, the Real Madrid really did play much better on the front end.
I mean, I think the lineup was weird because I don't see how Dembele doesn't start on the right side. I don't. I know you like Pedri and he's a quality player, but I don't think he should be starting in El Clasico on the right side. I don't think he was effective. Um, you know, I think your best player was Dest. I think he had a great game. He had some incredible saves, incredible stops, especially on Vinicius, who likes to attack the players very quick. Um, but again, I think with Real Madrid, I think in the first 5 minutes we could have been up 2-0, right? If we were a little better on the in front of the net, if we were a little more effective, it couldn't
Yeah,
be up so quickly 2-0, and there you go, and that's a game changer.
yeah,
Unfortunately, only Benzema missed that shot that he had, and then like I said in the previous episodes, I hate scoring early because what happens when you score early? You get a little too jittery, you get
yeah.
happy, and you're playing with a right back that's a
Did
sub
say
of a
that.
sub. We had Lucas Vasquez no, we had Nacho before he went out, and we scored the goal. Everyone's happy. Nacho loses his sights, um, and the game's tied.
Yeah.
So to me, that was like I called it because I always say when you score first, that's when you got to be on your toes.
Hmm.
But I think what Barcelona did let Real Madrid do is play into space, like you said before. A lot of
Yeah.
teams when they face us, they have like low blocks where they don't give us space at all, and that's when Madrid has been struggling to find the goals. And
Hmm.
Barcelona didn't play that, and that's not nothing against them because when you're a team like Barcelona, you're gonna play open because you wanna control the game.
Right.
So
Right.
that's not
But
necessarily a bad thing because it's just how teams play. Just like the Champions League game yesterday, the goals they scored against Real Madrid, they're all from um, long balls when Real Madrid gets caught off in the middle of their attack. So was that a wrong tactic? I don't think so. I think just Real Madrid were able to capitalize, like you said. Um, and then the rest of the half, I think for the majority of the first half, Madrid did play better than Barcelona. Um, Vasquez came in again for Nacho, and I think he actually had an incredible game. He stopped Messi a few times, which I was totally surprised he managed doing. Then the second half starts. I think Barcelona started that half much better than they ended the first half.
yeah.
But then the goal changed everything, and and that was pretty much that.
Yeah, and then that really was the end. Do you remember the Casemiro tackle on Messi, by the way, and the penalty? Do you remember that one?
The Casemiro
The
tackle
ca-
and the penalty.
yeah, they didn't give it, but what happened was he went, and I just wanted to get your opinion on it because what happened was Messi had the ball tight to his left foot. Casemiro went in hard with his cleats forward. He got the ball first, but he wiped out Messi right then and there. So on the rebound, on the bounce off the ball, Messi had no, obviously he was face front on the ground after that being cleated, so he couldn't even make the move for the second ball. But it was a live ball, right? So at that point, would you penalize a defender making that kind of a tackle who's being a little over aggressive and taking down a player, and being
From what I know, if you go down for a tackle and you get the ball first, you're good. That's what I know. I don't know the rules
Mhm.
word for word, but that's what I know. What I want to ask you is, I've
Right.
noticed that after the game, on Barcelona's Twitter account, they complain about the refs. They always complain about the refs, and to me, that's a little silly. If you're such a prestigious team,
Right.
I don't think you should be challenging the refs and complaining about the refs. I heard Coleman's getting some kind of fine for complaining to the refs. Um,
Right. I
I don't
mean,
know. I
defending
just
your player, I just feel that if you get cleated, right, if somebody breaks your foot, but they touch the ball first, if they went in recklessly and broke your foot, they went in recklessly and should get a red. Just because they touched the ball first doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want. You can karate chop somebody, but just because you touch the ball first is okay. That's called a high foot or, your cleats forward. You could still get carded even though you touch the ball first. It's about whether you endanger the opponent. So I think that's what he was complaining about, and then impeding from being able to go at the second ball, right? Because it's not like Casemiro won the ball. He didn't. He just went in recklessly and hit the ball. Just so happened to be. So I think that you can go up to the ref and tell them, that's my player, and I'm gonna be here to protect my player. And if they could get injured, break an ankle or something like that, then you could complain to the ref. You get a fine. They're well paid. But I'm still here saying that there were things Barcelona should have done better. And when you look at it, when you compare the game, the Champions League game against Juventus to this one, and you look at how they set up in comparison from the pace in the middle and the lack of pace against Real Madrid, that was the difference. That really was the difference. It allowed Barcelona to push higher up the field. So even when Barcelona are pushing at you, there's still a block that's fully ahead, right? There's no space beyond the top of beyond half line. They're going to close all the way because they're not afraid of the ball over the top. They know they got De Jong, they know they got Lenglet, they got Jordi Alba, they got players who are going to be able to run over the top. So I think that was the difference. So like you said, and that's a good point. The spaces, for me, that's where the game was won and lost. And that space in the middle and your ability to push an opponent and not let them the easy transition. But protecting your players, I don't have an issue with that. Just as well if it was a Real Madrid player, Sergio Busquets, that's a point that I will make. I don't have that much favorability with him at the moment. I feel that he is a player who his best suits at the moment is being able to win tackles in good positions and being cute and maybe committing a foul but not getting the foul called, right? So kind of like cheating the calls. That's what I would call, and that's what his best trait is. So I don't like that. I'm not for it. I hope to see him replaced, but again,
I think
protecting
at
the
his peak,
players.
it was. I think he deserves a little more credit than you give him, but that's at his peak. At this point, I think he's more dead weight than anything.
I mean, you can have him on, right? You can have him on the pitch, but you would need a player like a Thomas Partey next to him, somebody who covers a lot of ground. And Barcelona don't have that, nor do Barcelona play a two pivot system. In
Right.
Barcelona, it's usually a one pivot system. So right, so you have one player sitting in, two center mids to the right, one to the
Mhm.
right, one to the left,
Yeah.
or and then one is a little more goal scoring, one's more side to side. So there isn't that much movement. He could be the side to side guy on the right side, but then again he's not quick enough with his feet, and he doesn't have too many incisive passes. It's more like that close control, being able to gain a little bit of time in the space in the middle of the pitch. But that's a trait that you need for your CDM. He just doesn't provide the pace and the strength you need as a CDM. And I love him. Great, wonderful touches. He could be amazing, but not for Barcelona right now, and not as a consistent starter in that key position. Maybe in a two pivot system again. But that's not the ideal system with Messi. But
Yeah.
that's the players you got.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a situation. It's a situation.
And to that note, I've been preaching the entire year about how Modric shouldn't be starting, and he didn't this game. Like, I think the lineup was perfect. Besides not having Carvajal on the right side, I think Zidane got it perfectly. Hazard is injured, you put Vinicius. Asensio is your best right-sided player. Perfect. Benzema, bam. That's your top three.
Yeah.
Cruz, Valverde, and Casemiro, no question. I've been saying Valverde should be starting every game.
Yeah.
So that's my perfect midfield. And then Mendy on the left, Ramos on the middle, Varane, and Nacho, which is unfortunately got injured, but Vasquez did a great job. I think he was easily our best player on the field, which is surprising to say, but he did a great job. And Courtois, amazing 2 saves against Messi. Unbelievable stuff. So I think the lineup was perfect. Again, I really don't understand Coleman's lineup. I don't understand the late subs that he made on the 80th minute.
Yeah,
I just don't understand how players like Griezmann and players like Dembele don't start a game like this. I really don't.
Did you watch today's game, Barcelona against Juventus?
I did not. I know Dembele scored an amazing goal.
He scored a beautiful goal,
Amazing
but for the rest of the game, off-timed passes. If you had a quality player that knows when to time a pass and how to make an accurate pass, you would have scored like 3 more. But that's, again, he has great technical skills, and that's awesome. That's amazing for him. But if he's not consistently practicing and giving everything he has to be in tune with his teammates and understand when to make the right decision, because you could see that he's just a little nonchalant out there. I don't like it. I don't like it.
So why bring him in the 80th minute?
Because otherwise your board will say, oh, you got this kind of a player, and the rest of the teams, right? Everybody will say, you got all these talents, right? Why aren't you giving them a chance? He gave them a chance, but he showed which players he has more trust in. Maybe he should have done it earlier. I don't know. I would have probably picked a different lineup altogether, but
yeah.
I understand Barcelona needs to try a lot of things, a lot of different things right now. In order to win this season, they have to be ready to try. So, it's slowly but surely. And from what I've seen today, it's getting better. It's definitely getting better. They were so strong in terms of movement, passing. If they could have just been a little sharper, like Dembele, it's always him. You remember all of these tight games that Barcelona lost in recent years when they dropped out of the Champions League. It involves Dembele missing like 3 clear-cut chances. Either just finish it to the side or just pass it to a teammate. He just does something stupid, just has a bad touch. It's him. It's him.
You're blaming him for everything?
Well, when you miss have you seen the Liverpool game? Remember that Liverpool game? They were winning. They were up 3-0 was the first leg.
I know that.
No, so he missed 2 wide open chances. They could have made it 5-0, basically done, right? Done. 5-0. I mean, that would be pretty insane. So it's little things like that over time they built. I think that he's not good enough. I like Ansu Fati and Pedri to play every second. I wouldn't give him a lick of playing time.
Really?
That's my perspective. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Just like I'm for Ricky Puig. Personally, I would have Ricky Puig, Pedri, and Ansu Fati starting every game. That's just that's the players I like. I think they're good enough. They put themselves out there. They work hard for the team, and the team that covers more ground puts themselves in a better position to win. Period. That's how I see it.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Yeah. So,
but I don't really have much to add. Like, to the Classico, I think it's great if we won, but I don't think that it means much. Just like today, we lose the games we're supposed to win, and we win the games that we're not supposed to. And what does that mean? Because the media is celebrating. Everyone's happy that we're losing. Everyone's going crazy saying Zidane is this and Vinicius is that, and all these media and makeup stuff, on the news. It's crazy. So, if we're going to transition to the Champions League game from yesterday, I have in terms of XG, we actually had more XG than Mönchengladbach. So in terms of getting to the goal and creating chances, we did, and things just did not go our way. We started with the same lineup as a Classico, so I can't even complain there, right? But it just things didn't go our way. I thought we controlled the game for 95% of it. They caught us on the counterattacks, which is it's unfortunate. What are you going to do, right? Because your whole team is pressing up in their half. Again, they played on their left side, which is our right side. They played on Vasquez. They knew that's going to be like the weak spot. And I don't know if you got to see, but when you saw Lucas Vasquez versus Thuram, it looks like a video game. When one character is like 8 foot and one is like 3 foot. It was crazy. He's more muscular. He's taller. There's no chance for Vasquez to take on this guy. There's no chance he's stopping him. Yeah, so it's not his fault. There's nothing you can do. Just like if you put me in a basketball game, I'm 5'6", I can't block a shot, right? So
yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, no. So I don't have any complaints in particular to any of the players. Again, bringing in Modric as a sub, I think it's great.
Changed the game. That changed the game. I thought.
But I'm saying what I've been saying is Modric should not be starting. I love him as a sub. I think at this point of his career, he should be coming on as a sub. Valverde should be the one starting next to Cruz, it worked out in the Classico.
So just because you're talking about that, I'm gonna pinch in with this because I was watching the game too. I had a feeling like watching Valverde that he stopped progressing slightly because if he's going to fill that Modric role, he needs to be better at connecting the lines, getting to that in that final third, that through ball, getting more chances and being more.
But that's
efficient.
The thing that's not. I don't think that's his job because
So
who's going to stay in that position? I think that's Odegaard. I think he's going to be the one.
Yeah. So hold on.
That's Valverde.
But so Valverde is your what, right or left center mid?
So again, it depends in the scheme of things. It depends on the formation. It depends on the
So the thing is, because if he's not your defensive midfielder, so you're gonna have another defensive guy in the middle. So it's two players that are not gonna technically break the lines, and another Casemiro-esque player, right? So Casemiro and Valverde won't be the magic that breaks the line and that will break down teams consistently. That's your Modric type players. So if you don't have Modric starting, you need somebody like that. I felt watching them. It reminded me like Arsenal against Leicester, except for Magnuberg being more effective on an attacking transition, being more dangerous. So it just something didn't connect. Something didn't get to the final.
I gotta say, I totally don't agree. I think he's doing amazing things and he's putting in the mileage and he's doing the job that Zidane is telling him to do. I don't think he was meant to fill that Modric role, but I think he's doing a great job. And I think
that's fair. And that's fair. I just didn't see
I think that
doing that for Madrid.
Seeing Modric, come energized in the second half against a team that are running on teams, you saw it with the last goal in the Classico. Only good things come from it, and especially when you had Hazard come back from this injury. I think he looked great too. He almost scored that one goal. So the subs were great, if you ask me. I praise Valverde and I love what he's doing. Last season and this season so far, he's been proving himself as the heir to the throne.
No,
where would he? I don't know. I don't know. So in the future, I don't know if I would put him in a Cruz position or in a Modric position because I can imagine him playing besides Odegaard, and he's a more offensive kind of player, right? So we've seen Odegaard play in the center. We've seen him play as a 50-50. We've seen him play as a right winger in Real Sociedad last year. So where will he fit? And hopefully Zidane's plans or Raul or wherever comes in the future, because they're both young. I don't know.
Right,
one of my biggest questions is
not to just jump over too many points. What I was saying is I watched Real Madrid play Magdeburg for the first 70 minutes. Who was your creative guy there?
I think Asensio had a great game. I think he tried to cut inside and create things. And also, in talking about Asensio, he also, as soon as he woke up in the Classico, the game changed. So he was doing great things. Again, I think the goal, in terms of the game, I don't think we had a bad game. In terms of XG, we had a 2.3, which is great for our standards, right? Those are amazing numbers. Right, so but in terms of creating chances and playing in your opponent's half, we did that, right? I honestly thought after they scored the first goal, I said, okay, they scored off a counterattack, that's fine. We're playing better, we're controlling the game. The goal will come, and it's unfortunate that we got caught off twice. But
I didn't see it. I didn't see it as you guys getting caught off twice. I thought for the first 70 minutes until Modric and Hazard came in, it was not even a shout. They just outplayed you guys by far. They were first to the balls. They pressed harder. They were more aggressive with their passing. They
I
got
totally disagree. And if you look at the
mm,
possession,
that's
we
fine.
had more possession of the ball, right? Which
But
is
it's not about the time of possession. That's you're proving my point exactly. They had less possession, but they got up the field quicker, and that's what I saw. That's
that's
what
called a
I thought.
counterattack. You know,
Yeah, but
if the entire
it's not.
opposing team
It's
is playing in your half and you're stealing the ball and you send one through ball, you have Thuram versus Vasquez.
fair enough. But what,
That's
that's
fair gameplay. You know, that's fine. I'm not
that's
saying anything wrong with that. I think the exact opposite. When you're facing a team like Madrid, like Barcelona, like Bayern Munich,
but you can't say that
that's a
because
great way to play.
the
That's a
first
great tactic to
I
play. But
I think the
it
first
worked.
I think the first 70 minutes were a little bit similar to what you saw at Shakhtar as well. When Shakhtar Donetsk were just possessing
I
the ball,
totally disagree because Shakhtar they dominated in
they
every aspect.
dominated. They did
In
dominate, but
every aspect.
Magladbach, they were dominant until they
Yeah.
started realizing that they have something to lose at the end. It got very shaky. I thought for until those minutes where Madrid came in and they started pressing and Real Madrid were getting a chance every minute. Before then, they couldn't muster up too much. And you could talk about XG, right? Because it's not about uh, if you got all your chances in 20, 30 minutes, you're going to look at them for your entire game, right? Even though they came in at the last 30 minutes. So in the beginning, I thought weren't lethal. They were the stronger team. No matter if they possessed more or not, they were more dominant and were quicker to do whatever they wanted to do. Their game plan was imposed on the game more so than Real Madrid's. At
Right.
least
I'm not
that's
saying
what
you're
I
wrong. I
felt.
think their game plan worked, and I think their coach that he prepped the players well.
Exactly.
But I also think that we didn't play a bad game. I don't think we had to play a bad game at all. You know,
I
am I upset? Yeah, but I don't think we had a bad game against Shakhtar. We had a bad game. You know, that was terrible game. But
yeah.
we didn't play bad, and I'm looking at I have the stats here. We didn't play bad. You know, it was you want to call it bad luck. You know, if that end of the game, we had 65% possession.
I
65%
would say bad
possession.
luck is I would say bad luck is for Magladbach because both of your goals came as the balls that just luckily dropped to the feet of the right player at the right time in the five. So it's not as though those were like incredible technical game movements or some incredible
So you're
passes. It
saying the
was
two goals are pure luck.
I'm saying it was not pure luck, right? Because they were pressing for minutes. But what I am saying is the goal were broken plays.
Want to
It
see?
wasn't as though any sort of a game plan was imposed. It was you got to throw the kitchen sink at it, and you managed to score two goals. Ramos was there for the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes, pressing up the field. They were throwing the kitchen sink, and they got two goals because they were just putting in the box every goal and crashing all the balls. You look at the replay of the second goal. Go look at the replay. You have all the Real Madrid players on the back line versus three Magladbach players. You have four Magladbach players between that line and the ball just looking at the play. They were frozen. They were just very nervous. It just looked like they just not focused enough. It fell away for them, and it was what it was. Real Madrid are the better team. Don't get me wrong. They have better talent. It shouldn't have been even a game to talk about. I thought they should have just walked away with it. Very surprised, When we talked about this group, you said this is no chance of being a death group, but from what it's shaping up to be that. This is
No,
the death group. This
you're
is
right in the sense that I totally agree with the death group. I didn't think it would be that much. I didn't see Shakhtar winning. They didn't win twice, but they tied Inter and they beat us, which I did not expect. Not nothing against Shakhtar, but I didn't expect both Real Madrid and Inter Milan to not win two games, right?
yeah.
Back to what you said before. Again, I think we did everything right. We controlled the game. We had the position. We had more shots than they did, right? So
I don't know.
and
I
I
don't know.
talked about
If I were you, I wouldn't say you
this
did everything right
in
because
episode before and before that. Our effectiveness in front of the goal is what will ruin our season, and we saw it clearly in this game. You know, we have like 11 or something shots, and only one of them were on target. That's bad efficiency. You know, that's if you're a little more efficient in front of the goal, the game
exactly.
is different.
Do you know what the rate is for who shoots the most in Real Madrid? So Vinicius
Uh,
shoots every 22 minutes. He has one shot on goal. Obviously, most are off target. Benzema with 25 as well. Only one goal so far this season. So it is like you say. It's a lot of being effective up front, and
exactly.
that's why I'm saying this is not what Real Madrid wants to do. Real Madrid do not want to be not effective. They want to be effective.
Of
They want
course,
to
every
get
team wants to be effective. It's not
exactly.
that. But I
Exactly.
think were
Also,
we
my
dominant on the
point is,
ball? Yeah, we were dominant on the ball. Did we create chances? Yeah. Did we convert
but
them?
but
No,
my
and that's a
point
problem.
is, because you're not getting to the best situation. You know how in basketball sometimes they say you got to pass up a good shot to get a great shot. And right now up front for Real Madrid, they're not able to do that. They don't have that connection yet between whatever's going on in the front three. There's a lot of changes. Gareth Bale going, after Ronaldo going, nothing's ever replaced him. It's only been going downhill, and now with Hazard, Vinicius,
There are
Rodrigo,
there are many changes. I don't know if you've
there
been
that's what I'm saying. There are
up to the
many changes.
transfers. There aren't many changes. I don't think. I can't explain it. There's no way for me to explain it. But it is what it is. You know, the efficiency is what's going to kill us as a team in this season, whether it's Champions League or La Liga. It doesn't matter. Our efficiency in front of the goal is
Hold on,
gonna
hold on,
it's gonna
hold
kill
on.
us. And you know, last year
Hamas
Benzema.
and Bale going, right? That's this year. Last year, Hazard came in, Vinicius came in, right? That's new. Rodrigo came in last year as well. That's within the last 15
They're
months. So
all.
excuse me to say, it's a lot of changes going on
I don't think
over
that's a
time.
lot.
And I think
I don't think that's a lot of
that's
changes.
the entire front three, except for Benzema. Your entire front three is changing. You're phasing out Modric and bringing El Valverde.
Gareth
So
Bell did not
you're
play. James did not play. I wouldn't. I think that's been the most quiet, one of the most quiet windows in terms of over 2 years that Real Madrid has had. So
it is
I
it
wouldn't
is,
say there are a lot of changes.
but
What I would say is that there's a clear problem that was somehow masked last year by Benzema being on form, which it was great. You know, I can't complain, but
so
it's
the changes,
unlikely
so on
that
the
he's gonna.
changes, I mean, I don't know why you took it to the transfer market, but the consistency in the lineup is not there, right? So that's what I'm going, and that's what I'm
That
talking
is
about.
right. That is
So
right.
there
I
is
think
no,
Zidane
and
is known for his rotations and from trying different things and always having this like joker that no one expects in the lineup. Um, but
sometimes that comes to
I don't
bite you.
think you can blame the efficiency in front on that. I don't think that's an excuse. No,
I thought that when Real Madrid were the best, you knew their lineup no matter what, and it wasn't changing. And now that Real Madrid are not at their best, their lineup is not consistent, and I think it's direct parallels. It pretty much is. Look at the Champions League that you won. You know, it's almost the same exact lineup every time. It's almost the same
in the
exact thing.
last season we won the league. It wasn't like that.
Last season you won the league, right?
You
Not
won the
Champions League,
Champions League.
right? So that's one out of the recent four under Zidane, right? So
Sorry.
it's under Zidane. How many? Four?
No, I think three, four. I can't
Three?
keep up anymore. Yeah, because
Exactly.
they had one with
I think it's four.
Ancelotti, and then I think
So it could have been one with Ancelotti, but from those recent four, what I'm getting at is it's a very similar lineup. It was Cruz, Modric, Casemiro, Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale or James or Asensio. Maybe that position
but
changes.
the front three
That's
were
it.
never consistent because of Bale's not only relationship with Zidane, but also his his form and his injuries. So
Right,
that
but
was never
Ronaldo and Benzema were there. That's not a
right,
question.
but that third person, which was often Isco,
And
but it
again,
was never consistent. Whether it's a 4-3-3 or you're playing a diamond,
yeah,
you never knew what's gonna
but
happen.
but the difference was one player.
Right.
But that's it. Now the difference is it changes. It could change up to 2, 3 players every game,
Right,
and
but
that's
between last year and this year, what changed?
but all I'm saying is there is a change in terms of consistency, and it's not as consistent. Do you agree?
I totally agree, but I don't think,
Exactly.
and I don't think an excuse is saying it's not consistent. I mean, again, I think there should be no excuse. Do I know why it's happening? I don't. But what I do know is that Benzema has had a great season last season, but we can't count on that happening again. You know,
Yeah.
they put a a band-aid on a cut that I think is bigger than they think, and we're seeing it this season. You know, it's only the beginning, but I don't think it's going to get the same numbers as he did last year.
Yeah.
So something's going to have to change and improve. And then again, we win the games that we don't expect that we're not expected to win, but then we lose the games that we're expected to win, and that creates chaos. What will
We'll
happen?
see.
I don't know.
We'll have to see because I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't. We could see a surprise. I'm not sure if Real Madrid gets out of this group. They're yet to
I'm
play
sure they'll
Inter.
get out. I'm not sure about first place, but I'm sure they get out.
It's rough.
I don't see Shakhtar winning the rest of the games.
Honestly, they look the best so far.
Yeah, they did look good. Can't lie about that. They did look good.
They super good, super fluid.
Yeah, but
aggressive.
I don't see them
And
going
a
through
lot
the
and a
group.
lot of their team, a lot of their players were out for coronavirus. You had predicted. They didn't have any
Right.
subs.
10
All their
players.
subs
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
all their subs were like youth players. So they had a big issue in terms of availability, but they put out a product that was way superior to whatever Real Madrid put out that day.
Right.
It was a show to behold, and that's a handicapped squad. So I see them advancing, and Magladbach has been played really well for 70 minutes. And Inter is no joke. This is the death group for me. Like
No,
no doubt
it
about
is.
it.
It's more definitely is the death group.
Yeah.
The death group. You're
Any
right.
team could advance.
You're right about that, but I don't see. I still don't see Inter or Real
Let's go back
Madrid.
to the start. Let's go back to the start of the death group. It was cut off.
No, so I was saying I did agree that it is a death group, but I don't see Real and Inter missing out. I just don't see it happening. Um, you know, Shakhtar are playing well. They're playing great, but I just don't see it.
If I was a betting man, this is when I'd put the money on this group for Real Madrid not to go out. If there was one year, and if there was one situation, looking back, and they could be saying to themselves, "Oh, last year same thing happened. Lost the first game to PSG, and then tied Club Rouge
Right,
2-2
right,
coming back." But
exactly.
Magladbach is no Club Rouge, and PSG are flaky. So Shakhtar Donetsk could only get better in terms of what their squad productivity, availability,
I
and
again, I don't know. I don't know if you know much about Shakhtar, but because of their
I watch a
injuries,
lot.
our good friend Manolo Salomon played. He's an Israeli right winger. He
He
was
was
the
scored.
MVP. Yeah, he was the MVP in both games,
No, him and Tete were the best for that
and
game. They both
he
had an
wouldn't be
equal share to
starting
me.
if there wasn't for the 10 players missing.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna necessarily say that them getting the 10 players back is gonna approve them. I don't know if that's really the case. Um,
I think the best ability is availability, and having more options is going to be great. They could have put more out there. They could have closed the game with more goals at the end. They looked very tired. They put a lot of work. Just
yeah,
not a little bit more of effective substitutions, only because they had to shy away from using them.
yeah.
They
You
look
know,
super strong.
yeah, but usually with Zidane's Real Madrid, we usually start off very weak, and as we keep going, we get a little better and a little better,
Yeah.
and then we reach the peak towards the end of the season. So I don't see I don't see Real Madrid not going through this group. I don't see a way, shape, or form. This happened a year ago. It happened back when we first. It happened too many times for anyone to count out Real Madrid. And if you want to put money on it, by all means, man. I would not advise you to, but yeah. And I think Inter Milan will also go through this group.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. They looked, from what you saw against Shakhtar Donetsk, if you didn't know which team was what, who has the history, you would clearly say the team in orange is the way superior side, and the white team needs to get the training. Just by a naked eye, unaware of those two teams, you watch that game. There's a way better team, and there's a way less better team. And you'd agree that Shakhtar was what you said, right?
They
They
did.
dominated the
I
game.
can. That's a straight fact.
So to go and say I don't see them being consistent, they just got a tie, right, against Inter at
Mm-hmm.
away. Again, that's results that are going to mean so much moving down the line.
100%. 100%.
Like 4 points out of what you would say are the easier games. If they win the next one, they're on 7, man. Real Madrid would have to win 2 of their next 4. They have to be on 50% win ratio against teams that they're
They
not
have
doing
to
so
win
well
every game
against.
from now on. That'll be my mentality. I don't.
Oh, of course. But my question is that even a possibility?
I think
We'll
of
have to
course.
see. That Inter game is going to be
Listen, if any
a big
team
one.
can do it, it's Real Madrid. If any team can come back from a 2-1, a 2-0 deficit, it's Real Madrid, and they almost got a 3-2. If any team can do it, especially in Champions League, it's
No,
Real
no, yeah,
Madrid.
that's right. I've seen Real Madrid have a 2-0 lead on Dortmund and lose it in the final minutes, go 3-2
Of
down.
course.
So there's the same can go the other way, and that's why if I was a betting man, I think that this is a better year. If I was a betting man, this
Yeah,
is a
so
better year. This is
it's not too
certainly.
late, man. It's still early.
Yeah, I
Get your
know.
money's worth.
If you're out there, I'm calling you and I'm telling you this is the time to invest in Real Madrid not making it above the group stages. It doesn't happen often. It won't happen often, but this is
Hey, I dare you, do it.
yeah. I mean, it's not about daring. just think that they're not as good this year.
So do it.
I would say the same thing about Barcelona, but they just went ahead and beat Juve, playing better. So it's going to be something to watch. They're in the tough group, and the toughest group by far. Do you agree?
Yeah, for sure. For
So
sure.
if you were to bet on a top team going down, you would go on the death group and the team not in form. That's Real Madrid. So that's your risk averse if you want to get your high interest. So a little bit on the Barcelona game. Did you watch that today?
I did not know.
That was a really nice game in terms of well, hopefully Barcelona can continue replicating it, but movement, being fluid, and having that top three connect to the middle, it's getting better. Pedri has been very, very well. Griezmann played up front today, and as you know, the Griezmann clear opportunities missed per game applied for this one too. Clear cut, golden chances, just nothing close. That's the usual Griezmann we get. But Dembele had a beautiful wonder goal. That was
Yep, I did
amazing.
see the goal though.
Yeah, that
Did
was
see
an
the goal.
amazing goal. That was an amazing goal. Again, like I said before, he's a great talent, but you don't see that consistently enough. Not even in a game, right? He scores that, you'd say to yourself, "Oh my God, what confidence could he have?" Right? He could move this forward. He could gain something, build on it. Nothing. Off tune. I mean, just a guitar with everything loose. I don't know, but then again, if you want to smash and grab, you could definitely take that guitar and do a hit with it, and that's what he did. He did a hit with it.
I don't know
He
if
did
if, I, if
exactly
I'm in
that.
charge of the lineup. I don't see how you have Griezmann and Dembele on the bench. I really don't.
I don't know.
I don't.
They spent 200 and what 60 280 on the both of them. They got the result. They didn't need either of them to produce anything. So I think they're good without them. It's Barcelona. Their investment is not so much just in these big names as of recent. These guys, they go at the academy. They bring in the good players. They teach them well. They teach them really well. Look at Fati and Pedri. Their awareness, it's incredible. There's something called an OODA loop. It's your ability to observe, orient, decide, and act. And how quickly you do that repeatedly is I mean, it's actually a method that they developed for fighter pilots, and that's how you're able to get your best results in the crunch time and when you're more stressed, right? So under pressure is when you'd say your thinking is could be impaired, not as good as if you were at a comfortable situation. Well, these guys seem so comfortable, so confident in the skills, high technical abilities, and they know it and they show it. So today was an incredible showing in terms of giving you hope. It was a lot of hope. You could see it coming together, playing more like water. Like they become the shape they need to be in order to get the movements and the passing and the ball through. It's back to the Guardiola days. So Coman did play for Barcelona for years. He's one of the best defenders in the world. So it's an improvement, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. We saw De Jong today at center back instead of Piqué, and I know how much you love Piqué at center back. So
So he's my favorite center back to face. But as soon as he's on the lineup, I'm a happy man. Happy
right,
man.
right. All you need is him and Semedo on the right, and that's it. Now
All
it's
I need is
party.
PK in my life. PK and Shakira. That's all I need in my life.
And Piqué and Shakira. Yeah. So
Those
we
two.
got Lenglet and De Jong today, and it was a very nice
Yeah,
showing.
I'm just gonna, give you a warning. Just like we don't think Real Madrid is in great form after winning in Classico. I wouldn't take one victory or one win as wouldn't be. I wouldn't be too happy about it. Just like I wasn't too happy about the Classico. I know there's problems in Madrid, and there's problems in Barcelona, and hopefully they both can improve to
Exactly.
go
So that's what
back
I'm
to
talking
those
about.
stages, the
Yeah.
top prestigious, that prestigious status they used to have. And not be both laughing stock by Bayern Munich and Co. So
Exactly, and there was Co today, Juventus, and Co got and Co lost. Co lost at home, so it was a very very good result. I mean, not to say that you could say it's not the result. I'm not gonna say because they won the game, they are going to play better, right? Just like you say, just because Real Madrid wins a big game, they still lose the ones they really should win, and
right.
that's what makes you that great team, that consistency. So the shades of the way that they can possess and play with the ball. I've been frustrated watching Barcelona play for the past 2 years, but this has been football that has been missing, and I really love watching. It's homegrown players that live and breathe the way you like to play the game, not these store-bought Fortnite players that are just I got to get confidence. I don't know what they're doing. I really have no idea. A player with the
What are you
skills
talking about?
of Griezmann and Dembele, so skillful. I know Griezmann works, but Dembele doesn't do shit. He doesn't. He apparently he plays all the time. You could see him in the game. He's not focused. He doesn't know exactly where to make the pass all the time. That's something when you tell us he makes so much money. You're labeled. At least work. At least have something to show for it. Just very pathetic. I wouldn't give him a minute. So
Okay.
that's the positives I see. I see the youth, and because I see the youth, I know that it's okay. We don't have to give him a minute. No need. No need. There's much better players to come. And same thing I would say for Real Madrid. I want to see Rodrigo and Valverde play. Like those are two players I
Yeah,
always want to see in the
I
team.
agree. I agree.
I feel like they can only get better. And when I say that I want to see more of transition into the final third from Valverde, he's only going to be able to get that through playing time. It's not going to just, oh, there it is. It's going to appear out of thin air. No, it's going to come with a lot of getting used to your different teammates, right? Rodrigo, probably going to be there for a while. Hazard, probably going to be there for a while. Get used to them. They got to be on the field all the time, that trio, for me.
Right? No, 100%. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
on Real Madrid's side, we have a good youth group, and I'm not too worried about buying other players and this and that. Um, I do know this summer is going to be our big summer, but um, yeah,
How's that
I'm not.
player? How's that? You have the player who was on loan for, was it Valencia? Kubo? Kubo?
Kubo.
Why isn't he? Where's he? Why isn't he getting
He's
playing
in
time?
Villarreal.
Villarreal. Villarreal.
Yeah, we
That's I think.
couldn't keep in too many players that don't have the Spanish citizenship, so he had to be loaned out. It was either him or Rodrigo,
Oh, okay.
and I
I
think
would have taken him over Odegaard.
no, I don't think that if they wanted to let Odegaard out, they'd just keep him in Sociedad because he was on loan. He could have stayed there because it was a 2-year loan originally, but they brought him back. And I think your friend Unai Emery, I think he's handling Kubo very well. Slowly getting him the minutes that he deserves, and we'll see at the end of the season how he develops.
Yeah, I remember watching him last year against Barcelona, and he put in quite the performance. I mean, he
Yeah,
really, he really took his
no, he,
team
he is full of
for the
talent,
scruff of the
and
neck.
big loss for Barcelona's youth program, and a big win for us. I
Yeah,
don't
I
I
mean,
don't know what happened to make that availability for him to come in, but I am sure happy that he is in.
it
You
was
know,
because of remember there was the issue of a lot of top teams signing youth players with their contracts and their player cards. There
yeah,
were a lot of so that's part of it. He was one of the players that they had to let go from signing and picked up by Real Madrid. So it's things that, happen. I think that best wishes for him always. There's a lot of great talent right now in Barcelona as well, with Ricky Puig and De Jong and Pedri and Ansu Fati and alongside Messi. It's tough to see where he fits in at the moment. I think Puig is a better player than him, personally, but I do think he's a great talent. He's right up there. It's not as if it's like here's Puig and here's
they're
Kubu.
different
I think
players
it's
though.
like
They're
it's
they're
like this.
I don't think they're the same type of player.
No, but
You know,
not the same type of player, but their ability to impose their whatever they bring to the table on the game. I think Ricky Puig has he's a little bit more sassy. He has that spice to him in the middle that just give me the ball and I'm going to move it forward. He runs and he asks for it and he gives it away directly to where he wants it, directing the player to the position he wants them to go. Very, 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 very cute in that respect. It's just the right amount of spin, just to the right amount of position, pace. That's kind of the passing that I love to see. So I think he's and again, Kubu has the same thing, but not to that
but he's more of a
command.
winger though,
Command,
and
yeah.
Puig is more of a central midfielder where he controls the game and wants the ball and to make the passes.
Yeah.
So they're different. I wouldn't compare them just because they play different styles and they're being utilized for different reasons.
I would only compare it to Ricky Puig because there is no shot over Pedri and Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati and Pedri are 17 playing like they're 25, 26. So I wouldn't drop them for a second. So that's even if Kubu was still at Barcelona, he wouldn't be getting the playing time over these two for me. I think they're exceptionally talented. Some of the things I saw today from Pedri, and I would recommend you to check it out. against, Juventus. It's not a joke team, and he's 17, Champions League, and that was a showcase. That was
I think
certainly
if
a showcase.
anything, it's a test for Pirlo. I think it's his first loss as a coach.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't say he's a good coach. I can't say he's a bad coach. No one knows yet. The pool's too little to tell.
I thought he was good
Um,
today. I thought they played well.
I mean, again, maybe I don't know. They lost 3-0 at home, right? 3-0. You guys won.
Uh,
So
2-0. Messi scored a penalty there at the end.
2-0. So again, could he have responded differently? I didn't watch a game. I can't tell you, but we'll see over time. I don't know who else is in that group with you.
Who else? Juventus. Who else played? It's not such crazy teams. Hold on, let me check.
Who'd
it
you guys
real
play the
quick.
first game? Some weird team, right? Not weird, but
I don't remember. You know what? There's like so many games that I try to stay on top of. I'm gonna try to find it real quick here. But Barcelona, they've been on and off, right? So you have a game against.
what I was trying to say is there a way for you and Juve not to go through? No, right?
No.
Yeah, okay. That's
Not
what I
really.
was trying to say is that at the end of the day,
My phone real quick.
Juve and Barca are very likely to go through this group. So, does a 2-0 loss at home really mean much? I don't know. It all depends on if Juve get to the second spot, right? If they get second place, it will only be determined once you know who you're facing, because then you'd be able to say, oh, if we got first, maybe we would have an easier route. But it's too early to tell. It's too early to tell.
Right.
Again, we'll be much smarter as the season goes on, and we'll see how Pirlo is as a coach and how the team plays when all their players are available. They were very busy this transfer window. If I'm not wrong, mostly selling players, letting go of players like Douglas Costa, which to me was stupid, such a stupid move. But
then again, they have Cuadrado, very much a similar player. I do agree that Costa is the better of the two, but can't keep both.
I mean, I don't think one replaces another. I don't. One is on the left, one is on the right, that's a simple explanation. But besides the point,
we have
they brought Ronaldo to win a Champions League, right? And they haven't done so in, I think this is the third year now. So, if they don't win it this year, what does that mean? What happened?
Right, but then they have Dybala, they have Bernardeschi, they have a lot of players. They didn't.
They have the talent. They have the talent.
Yeah, and they bought Higuain. It's not like they just went out and
they sold him.
What's that?
They sold Higuain.
No, they sold Higuain. So, but they did get a center forward. Who did they get this year? They sold Higuain. They brought in, it was a transfer merry-go-round. They brought in Morata, right? They brought in McKinney, great player. They brought in Arthur from Barcelona. So they brought in players. It's not as though they didn't. They did let go of Desilio, Costa.
No, so that's what I was saying. They were very busy this transfer window, and we'll see how it works out at the end of the season. But what I am saying is that if they don't win it, if they don't go all the way this year, or if they end up losing the Serie A, because right now Milan is looking very bright in their first place. Yeah. So what does that mean for Pirlo? What does that mean for Ronaldo? What does that mean for the team? I don't know.
Yeah, so right now, at least in the Champions League, they haven't lost a game in the league, but for the Champions League, Dynamo Kiev and Ferencváros. So that's going to be a walkaway probably for Barcelona at this point.
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. So the significance of this loss will only be known once they know who they're versing in the next rounds, because you could be getting lucky, or you could be getting someone like Man City, So.
Right. So the significance is right now they probably put themselves to the worse off position, and they could luck out, but definitely chances not in their, not as much as in their side. And like you say, with Ronaldo, it's gonna have to be an important year for them. They're gonna have to press on the gas.
If they get second place, they could be facing someone like, well, they can't face Inter Milan, right? But I was going to say, you never know who you end up facing, because you never know how these groups really end up working out. So sometimes, being second place can work out for your favor. Sometimes it doesn't. Most often it doesn't, but you never know. We'll know um, later on the season.
Yeah, we'll know later on in the season. Nevertheless, more likely to get a tougher team.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tougher road to go through. That's again, if you're going to be a team that wins it, you're going to have to go through the best teams. So whether you meet them early, you meet them later, you're going to have to beat them.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
way I look at it. So it's either you're good enough or you're not. Out of the group stages, two come through, and that's one thing that I really agree with you that you said earlier about Real Madrid and Zidane. And that's a very important thing for teams to have is to peak at the right times. As to when you need to show up, you show up. The beginning, you could lose a few points, right? But this next game is going to be crucial, for example, for Real. If they
For
don't
sure.
bring that
For
that
sure.
one in,
For
that
sure.
that that kind of shows that you know what, maybe you're not peaking when you
And
need to,
that's a
because
big
you need
game.
to
I
start
think
peaking.
if we lose the next two games, which are both against Inter Milan, we're out. But then
Yeah, you
again, if
gotta
you
win
think
it.
about it, if we win the two games, what does that mean for Inter?
Yeah, if you win the two games, that's Inter out. That's their tournament's done. So that's probably gonna be if their life's on the
I
line.
don't know if that means they're out, but if we don't win, we're definitely out. If we don't win the next two games, home and away versus Inter, we're definitely out. If we win, that doesn't necessarily mean Inter is out because it depends on the other
So hear me out.
scores.
So hear me out. I think that Shakhtar Donetsk is gonna get at least 4 points against Borussia Mönchengladbach. So they're gonna be definitely the one team that's gonna be up there. So for me, between Real Madrid and Inter, the winner of those two games will be the decider of which one of them makes it. I
Right,
think.
it's very possible. Again, I think if Real wins the two legs, I think there's no chance we don't go through. But if that happens, it'll be interesting to see what happens between Inter Milan and the rest of the teams.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we were very fortunate that okay, if I'm not wrong, Inter won the first game and then they tied the second game. So we were very fortunate they didn't get two wins.
Hmm.
Um, and that's basically what keeps us alive in this group, I think.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so again, we'll see. What I do know is that I would never count out Real Madrid. You know, even as a fan, I never count out a comeback, just like I didn't in this game. And in Zidane, we trust the process, and I think, um, I
Hmm.
think we'll go through. Will we win it? I don't know, but I think we'll definitely go through the group stages. I believe in the team. I think the team believes in itself. I believe the coach believes in the team, and the team believes in the coach. And with Hazard coming back, looking good in his first game, not to jinx it, but he looked great, and hopefully he can keep it up and not get injured. And
Okay.
like I always say, time will tell. And if I'm not wrong, the next game is it next week?
It is. I was about to say it's Tuesday, so we can go and make a few predictions heading into this next week. And one of them we'll talk and we'll get one in, and we could start off with this one. It will be Inter
Yeah,
against Real
next
Madrid.
next Tuesday at
It'll
3.
be yeah, it'll be at Madrid at 3, like you said, and right after the Shakhtar Magdeburg game. So that's going to be interesting. Going to be a chance to see how they react to that result because that'll be crucial. Looking at the
Yeah,
group real quick and you see, let's say this is a Shakhtar Donetsk win. They got 7 points. 7 points. If Inter win this one and gets a 5 and Real are 1, it's a hole to climb. And from
yeah,
that
for
point
sure.
on, you would probably need to win everything and then hope that other teams mess up.
I think if I'm Zidane or if I'm any of the players, we got to win every game now. I don't
Yeah,
even I don't even consider
and
you
this is
know
the home one. This is the home one. This is a must win. If this is not
yeah.
a win, this is likely tournament done. So what is your prediction?
So I learned from a mistake. I said last episode that I don't predict Real Madrid games, and I caught myself. I was like, wait, but I did predict the other two in the league,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my way worked, and I'm gonna shoot you in my word, and I'm not gonna make a prediction to these games anymore. Um, but I'll say that I believe in the team as I always do,
Okay.
and we'll hope for the best.
Okay, fair enough. And we're here talking about it. I figure I'll make the prediction at least. That's not a
Yeah,
team that
go
I'm a
ahead,
fan
man.
of, so nothing hurt. I always love watching football,
No,
and
go for it,
I
man.
think predicting is something fun. I've done it over the years, but I'm not gonna say that Inter will walk away with this one. It is at Madrid. This will be a tough one. It'll set the tone because if Real Madrid win this one, Inter could be at home thinking like, "Oh my God, how are we even gonna do this?" So they're gonna be ready to defend, and they probably won't give up too much space. So they're very dangerous. They're very dangerous. I'm gonna go 1-1. I think this is a 1-1. Both teams score once, but both hesitant. It's going to be a lot of jabs, because this could swing the entire group this game. I think both will be very wary. But a few too many early goals, this could be an explosive one too, which
Hmm.
I hope for. I hope to see an exciting, explosive game that'll probably even play to Real Madrid's favor, because they have that mentality to edge away with those kind of situations. So I guess we could look into the following days games.
Yeah.
Not as many or as a headliner game in this day, but I do think that PSG and Leipzig is a rematch, right?
Oh, yeah.
So let's see. Do you think Leipzig can put them in their place, or
No.
PSG gonna
I don't
walk away
know.
with
I don't
this
know
one?
if you saw their game today, losing. I think it was
5-0.
4-0 against Man U.
5-5.
Five. I don't
And
know. It's gonna be a straight win for Bayern. Three
right?
nothing.
Or PSG.
PSG. Who are they
Yeah, so
playing?
so it's RB Leipzig hosting PSG.
That's the next game.
Yeah, that's the day after
No, I see. I see. Oh no, you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
it's not that I'm always right, I'm just never wrong.
yeah. I got messed up. So what game are we talking about?
It's no worries. It's the Leipzig against PSG group H.
Yeah, PSG
So
going 2-0. No, I don't see. And that's me being conservative.
yeah, I'm gonna go 3-2. I think they're gonna not gonna fold over like 5-0 again. It's a decent team, and
I
they're
don't
gonna
know. They're
want to
playing.
prove
They're playing home.
they're playing at home. Yeah, that's why I'm giving them a little bit of credit here.
They play at home today.
They played at home today.
I think. Am I wrong?
I'm not. Let me see real quick. I have it right here today. Yeah, they were United was home. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so let's go to the Premier League this weekend. There's three interesting games that I wanted to point out to you, get some of your thoughts. So there's Liverpool hosting West Ham. West Ham got a tie against Manchester City, took down Leicester, and Liverpool have been shaky on and off. So
Shaky,
what are
but
you
they'll get the win.
tricky? But Liverpool gets the win at home.
Yeah, I say 2-0.
2-0. All right, 2-0. I'm actually gonna go 2-1 West Ham here. I
Okay.
think West Ham are in good form. They're gonna give everything they have here. Liverpool with their backs against the wall with all these injuries, off form. West Ham will exploit. I really have a feeling that they're gonna hammer them. So 2-1. I remember last year. Last year they did give Liverpool a very tough time. So I'm hoping they do the same thing with a 2-1 result. And for the next game, um, we have Sheffield United hosting Manchester City. And Manchester City, I only say this, I wouldn't normally even suggest this kind of a game. But Manchester City are looking shaky even at the Arsenal game. They
They
were
are.
not good. They were not good. They tied to West Ham, dropping a lot of points. So what are you thinking? Are they gonna stay in this
I think a late
ladder?
minute, a late minute winner from Man City, 1-0.
Okay. Well, I think they're gonna Pep Guardiola will put in a lot of his offensive players for this one, because Sheffield United have not been having a good season. They're usually a good defensive side, but do not have any results. I don't think they won a game yet this year. So they were close against Liverpool. They gave them a good match, but I imagine City with their fluidity, they will be able to exploit these guys and get over to the byline. I'm gonna go 4-1 Manchester City. So
Okay.
yeah, a little bit on the crazier scale. I know the games are more quiet. I don't know why. I don't know why it's been going on like this, but or eventually we'll see some smaller games or less goals. So
Hmm.
for one that we may see less goals, it was a 0-0 for them against Chelsea, but and 1-0 for Arsenal against Leicester. So not too many goals. United are going to host Arsenal. Are we going to see another 1 goal, 2 goal game? Nothing game.
Yeah, I can see a 2-2 or a 1-1 here. I'll go for 2-2.
You're gonna go 2-2. I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal. I think
Okay.
yeah, because Chelsea have a really bad defense, and they were able to keep Manchester City. Not a bad defense, but they're a worse defense. Arsenal have given up the second least amount of goals, and even the goal given up this weekend was when David Luiz got injured, and we were forced to play Mustafi, awful Mustafi, god awful Mustafi, and uh, and yeah, that's really the reason why we gave up the goal. Otherwise, Arsenal defense looking exceptionally well with the addition of Partey. I don't think we're giving up the goal here. 2-0. And yeah, Aubameyang is going to turn it around. One for Aubameyang, and then I'm going to go one for Gabriel Margalhaes on a header from across. That's
Fair
my
enough.
picks. And what are your thoughts?
About the score?
Yeah, you said, what was it, 2-2?
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully, we get at least a few goals. I don't want to see a 0-0 again.
Yeah, no, I hate seeing 0-0 games. Those are god awful.
Yeah, and for the last one, I think this is going to be a really good matchup. You have Leeds against Leicester, the Foxes against the Killers. Leeds are coming in super hot, super fluid, like melted butter. How do you think they're going to fare?
I see 1-0 Leicester.
Okay, I think Leeds come away with this one again.
Yeah.
They had a result that was away to Aston Villa, so at home to Leicester, well, it probably matters less home and away, but I still think they're the better side. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 2-1 Leeds. A late Bamford winner.
That's fair, man.
Late Bamford winner.
Fair enough.
All right, so that's probably a wrap for our predictions. That's the sixth game for
Yeah.
this match. So we'll but definitely be back after the Champions League results, and hopefully they're nice results. Maybe even earlier. We'll see how you guys are doing. Anything else, DJ? Want to throw in there?
No, that's it. It's gonna be another nervous week. Another, you gotta be on your I'm gonna be on my toes this weekend and next Tuesday and nothing I don't know anything to say, I'm trying to be optimistic and believing in
Just
the
one
team.
thing. One thing I'm
But
thinking of. It's so isn't it so weird how we're already talking about the most crucial game potentially for Real Madrid in the Champions League group
uh,
stages, and we're not even a month into the season,
it's
or
it's
like
pretty
just a
crazy,
month.
but I think even if we would have won the last two games, this would have still been a very critical game either
Yeah.
way.
It
Um,
just feels so fast paced. Like maybe it's just the Corona time.
yeah.
Things are.
But you know what? If you would have told me, would you rather lose the first two Champions League game and win the Classico, or the other way around? I would take the El Clasico win. I think
Oh
it's
yeah.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
Okay. I'm almost for 6 points over three, but I know it's a very crucial game. I mean, personally, if you were to ask me about the North London Derby, I'd say the same. But it's not the North London Derby. The Arsenal
And
games. Oh
maybe
man.
next year.
Maybe next year. Maybe we'll do maybe we'll do a watch along for that one. We'll see
Yeah,
what maybe we could
that,
get
that
in
could be
store.
fun. A
Yeah,
live
that could be
reaction
fun.
video.
Yeah, live reaction. So, all right, guys, we want to get your thoughts. What do you think about some of these, the Classico? Do you think that Real Madrid deserve to win? Do you think Barcelona are improving, or is Atletico Madrid going to come in and just because they're stable and they got a good defense, just walk away with it? Who knows? We'll have to see. We'll have to stay tuned and see. So, give us your thoughts,
Just
comment,
comments
like.
below. Tell us what you think. Any questions you might want to ask us. Any discussion points you want us to talk about. Just let us know.
Yes, indeed, guys. So that's a wrap for you people. This is the NV and DJ Bars Football Show. Signing off.
Take care, guys.
Peace.